I'm excited our guys are getting rewarded because they've worked really hard this year with all these new pieces to kind of fit together, and it's been a frustrating ride for them, to be honest. I think when we came back from Costa Rica, we thought we thought we had a different not team, but we thought we were going to have a different season than this, and nothing comes easy in life. Nothing comes easy in a season, and these guys have figured that out kind of the hard way, but they got rewarded this week by really coming together, and I don't know how much better we played this week, but we played together so much better, just especially on the defensive end. And they had almost a 4-hour team meeting on Monday, before the Cal Poly game, and I think that made a huge difference. Even though we lost that game, I think it gave us something to point to, and then they had another little one right after that, and they just I think it's great to see as a coach guys growing and a team growing into a team, and we've got some really good individual parts, but to see them mesh together, and in a game today where a lot went wrong, and there was a lot of places where we could have given in, and especially like to have the game won in regulation and then let it go to overtime, and nobody hung their heads and they just kept fighting together, and I'm just really pleased that they could get 2 in a row and have a great week and feel good about themselves going into a tough week next week with 2 of the top teams in the league. Obviously Irvine is the king of the league right now, and Northridge, I think, is in second place. So, we're going to enjoy this and go back to work Monday. And I think I would just like to end with these 2 guys spearheaded that team feeling today. I mean, Josh was, obviously had his best offensive game, but he's really anchored this defensive comeback. When you have somebody that's going to protect the basket for you, it's so much easier for these other guys on the perimeter to play. And Mike's just got that it factor at the end of games. Everybody knew we were going to put the ball in his hands. He's got a finger that dislocated at Hawaii, and he has the ball at the end of the Hawaii game and scores the last 3 points, and it popped back out with about in overtime. I think at the end of regulation, he was out a couple minutes and we were down, and he comes back and pops it back in and scored the last 3 points again. So I think I hate to single guys out in a great team win like that, but I think these 2 are really deserving.
All right, we'll open up for questions.
Talk about what you. In the down the stretch, it seemed like you stepped up your game in both the rebounding and also following the rebound out to where the one play in which you made the block and then you kept the ball in as it was going out of bounds. Can you just talk about the defensive mindset you have to have in those situations?
Honestly, the only thing you're really thinking of in situations like that is how you're going to help the team win. I knew one of the assistants came up to me, he's like, Josh, you need to pick it up on rebounding. And I'm like, okay, that's all you need to say. And then that's what I did. And then the one you talk about, I blocked it and then got the ball back. I don't even remember that play. But I'm going to assume it was just like, that's what I need to do to help the team, so that's what I did.
When this team plays defense, you usually win. I mean, when you keep the score in the 60s, you guys, and that includes like the UCLA game, which you guys played defense, so you're a different team.
Yeah, it's so true. And first on Josh had no rebounds at half. So when he got challenged, when you challenge Josh, I mean, he doesn't take it personal. He takes it like, I got to help the team. And like that attitude is contagious. And to have a freshman with that attitude is really refreshing, and that's what I told him we're building around him and Rowe, and that those attitudes and just what they bring us, thinking of that team like that. As far as us keeping the 60s, yeah, it's no secret. I mean, I put all 5 of our home losses up on the board this morning at Films, and Davis got 85 on us. Southern Utah got I think 82. Santa Barbara got 87, and then 2 that were low paced games. Pacific, which was in the 60s, but they could have had 100. I mean, they were up 20 when they quit scoring, and then the Fullerton game was the one game that we got the score down, but let it slip away at the end. That was the only exception. But yeah, we've been preaching that, before the league even started. With new guys like this, your defense is going to be ahead of your offense. And for us to compete in this league, we said we got to keep it, and now we've even trying to slow down offensively a little bit, limit our turnovers, and get the pace down just to try to get a good shot every time, and not take so many risks, and help our defense a little bit. We put in a lot of those games, our offense was as much a problem with them scoring as our defense, because when you turn it over, it's really hard to go get stops because they're in the open court so much. So I think this week, not only mentally did we come together, but I think guys really bought into that. As I said before the Hawaii game, we got to make the game ugly and then win ugly games. That's just who we are right now. And to these guys' credit, they're embracing that. Mike and Cullen are walking it up so slow. I'm yelling at them a couple times to get it over before 10 seconds comes out, because they're trying to do what we ask so much. So it's really pleasing to coach guys that are being coachable, and as you can tell Josh's answer, we have a lot of that. It's just been frustrating, and sometimes they lose sight of that, and we all do, because losses is a hard thing to endure when you're getting better, and hopefully these wins will help us with our energy to continue to go in the direction we are going.
Mike, whether it be in that Santa Barbara game over there at Hawaii or tonight, your number's been called to make some of the late game plays. What is your mindset when you have your numbers called to make those big game changing plays?
My mindset is just to get my job done. On our team, we all have our jobs that we do, and we make sure that we get them done. And whenever my time comes for like the last second play or anything, I just make sure that I'm always ready to help my team, whether it's off of a shot, free throw, whether I need to get an assist, a stop, whatever we need to win in that moment, I'm going to do.
Josh, numerous times during this game, after you hit a mid-range shot, you're just shaking your head. How big of that part of your game have you been working on, and how confident are you as a scorer right now?
Well, the coaches have been challenging me for a while now if they're sagging off me just to shoot the mid-range. I was a little bit hesitant earlier in the season, but now I'm just kind of accepting it, and so far the results have been pretty positive, so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm just going to keep shooting now.
Especially if they go in. That really helps.
Josh, you've always been as calm as you look on the court during games. I mean, you don't outwardly show a lot of emotion.
Yes.
Coach, I remember at one point during the game you were saying we need a stop, not a steal. Can you just speak on the biggest area of the growth you've seen with the team and continuing to grow as the season goes on?
Well, with a young team, I think we're down 4 at the time. With a young team, they want to do it so bad that in those games like at Northridge, the first game of the league, we get so spread out, and they scored 53 points in the paint. So what I get concerned about is not reverting back to when they get frustrated of trying to get out there. And this one's my biggest guy I got to get in control, because he gets emotional out there. He wants to win so bad that he'll take chances we don't need to do. They were really struggling to score, and we just didn't want them to bail them out with stabbing and missing or putting them to the foul line and make them have to make tough shots. And they made some tough shots today, but not enough to beat us. And that's, these guys are getting confidence in that. And I think I remember saying that we need a stop, not a steal. And I think we got it, because these guys are getting confidence that they don't have to do it themselves. They got, and like I said, and it really helps that have Josh's activity back there on the back line, knowing that, hey, if I just keep my guy in front and we stay out of rotations here, Josh is going to protect the rim for us.
There were a lot of times tonight where you didn't have Colin on the floor. Was that just because of matchups, or just you want the guys on the court that were on the court?
It was just, yeah, it was. Cullen obviously struggled at the very end of the game, but Cullen was huge in the middle of that game. I mean, he gave us some offense when we were really struggling, and so I think it was just matchups a little bit. It was also, we only play 5 of them, and that's why I have to explain to the players all the time. We have 11 guys we're confident in. 10 of them played today. Jeffrey Yan even gave us a couple good minutes over in Hawaii. So, but if you're trying to win it on a defensive end, Drew Cobb needs to be a part of that. And so I think, and Mike is playing really good defensively, and Chance is still learning defensively, but offensively, he gives us so much. So it becomes a numbers game a little bit too. And how many minutes? Cullen played 27 minutes, so it's not like he got froze out.